We're taking you to a scene straight from the movies, deep in the heart of Texas, for a story about the boys of fall.
Ring, ring.
Progresso.
It's okay that your soup tastes like my homemade.
It's our slow-simmered vegetables and tender white meat chicken.
Apology accepted. I'm watching you, soup people.
Make it Progresso or make it yourself.
From the very minute you have this idea that you want to be in business, you need to have that card.
Presentation is everything because they're not only first impression of you, but now you're handing them this product that really is kind of going to define your business in their mind pretty quickly.
You want a very thick card that feels nice in your client's hand.
I think it's nice to have a choice because sometimes you want a glossy card, but for other projects, I don't necessarily want all that.
Your business card is a reflection of you. It should say exactly what you want. With a range of design, stock, and finish options at Vistaprint, it will. Get 500 business cards starting at just $9.99. Just enter promo code TV500 at Vistaprint.com.
That business card, when I make a connection with someone, has to be phenomenal. It has to be elegant and invoke all the things that Diamond stands for.
Just that professionalism is going to make you, as a business owner, more successful just right off the bat.
Vistaprint.com.
Sunday nights.
When the wind blows.
The Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets.
I saw something. I don't know how to explain it.
Every Sunday.
It's a story that's got a life of its own.
A new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far worse.
American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. This afternoon, generally cloudy, high 79. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, showers early, low 71. Chance of rain, 40%. Saturday, mostly sunny skies. High 80. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Yep.
I love Kit Kat and Reese's candy.
Have fun trick-or-treating.
Trick-or-treat!
Have a monstrously big Halloween with your favorite Hershey's candies. Walmart.
You swore you'd never do it. Trading in your sporty little two-door for a minivan? But here you are, counting cup holders and captain's chairs.
Getting in.
Not to worry. Allstate can help you save an average of $3,000 on a new car. Let an Allstate agent surprise you by helping you get a deal on the car you might not want, but really need. Call 877-279-9200 now.
The car seat, the baby booties, and ointments you've never heard of. It all adds up. That's where the good hands can help.
Now Allstate can help you save 20% or more on a new car seat. So you have a little extra for all the extras.
Think you're in there nice and safe.
Talk to an Allstate agent and start saving today.
Talking to the car seat?
Mm-hmm.
And if you call right now, you can get 2 safe driving bonus checks a year for driving safe. Only from Allstate.
Just a few more ways the good hands are doing more than ever before.
Call 877-279-9200 now.
Lowe's presents How to Make It Quiet by Being Loud.
What are your neighbors doing?
Oh, are they gyrating?
Yeah?
Yeah. That's the no rain dance. They don't have Xfinity, so bad weather interferes with their satellite service.
It's a no rain dance. Wow.
You should see them on game days.
It looks like fun.
It's not.
Don't settle for outdated satellite. Get reliable TV service rain or shine with Xfinity.
Mary Lynn Magar, a champion for our small businesses and our economy. Magar led the effort to pass a manufacturing tax break to create clean, high-wage jobs. And Magar fought to rein in spending and cut taxes and fees by over $500 million, so our seniors and working families could save more of the money they earn. No wonder then that Mary Lynn Magar has been endorsed by the Florida Chamber of Commerce. Mary Lynn Magar, real leadership getting results.
Free 1000. Ready for a new breed of broker? There's a name for people like you. Trade King. Switch today.
See the weather like never before.
Look at this!
Listen to that! Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live, guys. Time for your tropical update. I'm hurricane specialist Dr. Greg Postel with a look at the Caribbean Sea. We're tracking an area of disturbed weather. You can see on the satellite pictures that we've had some thunderstorms down there. And in fact, the Hurricane Center is calling this right in here, Invest 94L. You might think, well, what happened to 93L? Well, it's kind of the same thing. 93L was over here, then dissipated over the Yucatan, and now has reemerged. The same system, but it's just got a little bit of a different name. It's still an invest, meaning we're investigating this area for some possible development. But really, the odds aren't too high. I mean, look at them. They're 20%. They were 10% earlier today. Now it's up to 20% on its merry way on off toward the west. But the thing is that there's just too much in its way, I think, for anything to happen out of this. Number one, you got a cold front down here, which means not only is cooler and drier air going to come in and probably interfere with that whole area of disturbed weather, but there are also some strong winds aloft, I might add, that are blowing winds and thunderstorms off in that direction. So really, the odds of anything coming out of this are slim, and I think 20% sounds about right. I mean, if you look at the forecast down here, you can see that a lot of these elements in the precipitation, the clouds, they're moving from north to south. You know what that means? The cold front is all the way down here into the Caribbean Sea. It's not real cold behind it, obviously, but what it's done is basically torn apart what's ever tried to get going down there. So good news, all quiet. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Postel. Well, as our series 12 Towns, 12 Weeks continues, we head to Texas. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I got it. See, I caught the ball. We were practicing. We're just 40 miles north of Dallas. You'll find the small town of Salina, home of the Bobcats. As Jim Cantori reports, they're the Lone Star State's real boys of fall.
I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass.
It's autumn in Salina, Texas, and the color orange is everywhere. Because here, orange means Bobcats football, Salina's boys of fall. But before the chill comes the trial of summer against the toughest opponent of all, the Texas Heat.
Heat is that factor. It's going to be a factor. You simply have to deal with it, pure and simple.
And dealing with it means being in it.
One thing coaches always tell us is that everybody has to practice in this heat, so we all just got to overcome it.
Make sure you're coaching up. Make sure you're watching your guy. Know what's going on.
We get them out here in the heat because on Friday nights it's going to be hot. Those kids have got to be conditioned for it, and so they better be prepared to be able to play out there in that humidity.
Sometimes Mother Nature wins. Texas high school coaching legend Butch Ford says 39 years of scorching hot practices in August played a role in his decision to retire.
I remember the last year that I coached. I walked out on the field for that afternoon practice at 2 o'clock, and I looked around. There's about 110 in the shade, and I'm thinking, what are you doing?
But even the extreme Texas weather can't stop Salina's success. An 8-time state champion, including 4 straight titles during a 68-game winning streak from 1998 to 2002.
That is blatant blocking right there, and nobody's calling it. In little towns like mine, that's all they got.
Mainstream America knows Salina thanks to country music star Kenny Chesney. This small football-crazy community front and center in his 2010 hit music video, The Boys of Fall.
The Boys of Fall.
Because after all, Texas high school football here is more than just a song. It's reality, a place where kids dream of being center stage on Friday night.
The town's shut down. It's just like you see on the movies. It's a pretty great atmosphere, just knowing that everyone in the whole town is here supporting you and they have your back in everything that you do.
And saying Salina shuts down on game day isn't a stretch.
It's better now than it was at one time because there's more people in town. But years ago, when it came Friday night, there wasn't anybody left in town. You could have closed it up.
And that's rain or shine. With modern turf fields now, mud bowls have become a thing of the past. So even when storms sweep across the Lone Star State, the games play on.
You know, you may have to postpone them 2 or 3 hours or something. The storms will come in and they'll roll out when the lightning's gone and you can play.
Because in Texas, even Mother Nature can't turn off the lights of Friday night.
Salina is 5-2 heading into tonight's game against Bonham. Here's a look at your forecast for the big game, 7 p.m. tonight. It's going to be toasty, 80 degrees and sunny. Winds out of the south at just 7 miles per hour. Not bad.
Still to come on Weather Center Live, a beautiful weekend is coming up for most of the country, including Texas. But there is one exception.
Plus, we'll show you the eye wall of a Cat 3 hurricane.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. This afternoon, generally cloudy, high 79. Winds northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight, showers early, low 71. Chance of rain, 40%. Saturday, mostly sunny skies. High 80. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now on Weather Center Live, the power of a deadly hurricane caught on camera. Coming up, hear from the man sitting just feet away from flying glass shattered by a Category 3 storm.
Plus, you talk about sudden and unexpected. A tornado hits a small town in Washington. Tonight, we're tracking the threat of strong wind and heavy rain through the weekend. From the Weather Channel headquarters in Atlanta, you're watching Weather Center Live. It's Friday the 24th, and thanks for watching. I'm Dave Schwartz.
And I'm Kyla Grogan. So the nor'easter moving out, making way for a beautiful weekend in New England, but a much different story for those of you in the Northwest. People from Seattle to San Francisco will be dealing with rain and some strong wind gusts.
There is a storm cranking out over the Pacific Ocean. And there's even an isolated threat for one of these. An EF1 tornado, according to the National Weather Service. This hit the town of Longview, Washington. This is just north of Portland on the Columbia River. Look at that debris flying around. Winds were estimated between 86 and 110 miles per hour. That was some serious roof damage done to businesses and homes. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Kyla, what's it look like today?
Well, I'll tell you what, unfortunately, we are going to be dealing with nasty weather right through the weekend in the Northwest, so we cannot rule out the possibility of an isolated tornado yet again. Right now, we just have some rain rolling into Oregon. You can see there just in the central part of the state, just some light showers, but this is what is lurking offshore, and this is a system that is strengthening, is going to bring more rain and more wind and that potential of severe weather right into the Northwest. So there's our low pressure system. You see that big dip in the jet stream, and we're going to funnel all of that moisture right on in along this system. That moist flow will continue through the weekend. So it's not the most terrific weekend forecast. I'll just be honest with you right up front. We are going to see the rain and the wind from Seattle to Portland and Bedford. You see it also makes its way down into San Francisco on Saturday, where that World Series game will be played. On Sunday, the rain staying mostly up in Washington and in Oregon, but then you start to see the pinks and the blues. We head over to Idaho, we head over to Montana. If you're up at elevation about 5,000–6,000 feet, we could see some snow there as well. Well, this is the wind forecast, and of course this makes it nasty when we've got that wind rolling in, that rain starts to kind of blow sideways, and that's what we could likely see. As you can see there on Saturday afternoon, as we get that 11 a.m. noon hour, about 15 to 20, even 25 mile per hour winds in some spots. And that will roll right through our Saturday with the rain. So the rain accumulation between now and Sunday, pretty significant for some spots here, 2 to 3 inches just in the northern reaches of Washington State. In Seattle and Portland, we're looking more at that 1 to 2 inch range, and then San Francisco up to 1 inch. But all told, it's just going to be a bit of a rough ride, particularly on Saturday. You can see the temperatures also will start to go down because of all the cloud cover and the rain. So Portland, while we'll have low 60s on Saturday, we're looking at just 50s on Sunday. And yes, it does continue for you as you start your work week on Monday. There you can see that rain in the morning right into Tuesday. So it's not a terrific weekend forecast. We just have to get out your jazzy rain gear, Dave, and then you'll be fine.
My what rain gear?
Jazzy
My
rain gear.
jazzy rain gear. Okay, I'll do that. I do have some. You know, yesterday's tornado, and that's a look at it here in Longview, Washington. It didn't hurt anybody, but it caused a lot of damage. KGW's Nina Melhoff shows us some of the worst.
A lot of damage still on the ground here in Longview, Washington. Take a look. This is some of the most visual representation of what happened yesterday afternoon. This cinder block wall at this towing company was no match for this tornado. It brought down tons of bricks right down on top of one of their towing vehicles and just made a complete mess of their backyard here. Luckily, nobody was hurt in the city. No employees in this building were hurt, but boy, were they sure freaked out when this EF1 tornado came right over the top of their building. The National Weather Service says there were 110-mile-per-hour winds. This thing covered almost 1.5 miles, and people could see the funnel forming in the dark sky. They got their cell phone cameras out and started taking pictures of it. All of a sudden, debris, roofing, garbage cans, even a huge trampoline, all tossed in the air. At least 8 buildings were damaged, and a number of homes and trees were uprooted. Now, also, the National Weather Service is here on the ground surveying all this damage today. They say the last time this happened in Washington, it was down in Vancouver in 1972. So this is obviously very rare, and it really came out of nowhere. We've had a few days of rain and some higher winds gusting in the 40-50 mile per hour range, but nothing like this. Luckily, no one was hurt. Back to you.
2 tornadoes in the United States, and both of them in the Pacific Northwest yesterday. Well, on the East Coast, it's pretty quiet, quieting down in New England. And in the Southeast, well, look for yourself. This is a shot of Atlanta from the Coca-Cola World headquarters downtown, where they are checking in with a current temperature of 71 degrees. That's fantastic. At the airport, you might fly in or out of the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson Airport at East Point. It's 72, upper 60s to low 70s, not only across the Atlanta metropolitan area, but all across the Southeast. And the weather pattern is such that it is built that way to stay that way all the way through the weekend. There's your official temperature. Plenty of sunshine out there. The dew point, notice how much different it is from the actual temperature. That means our relative humidity is low. That's why when maybe you scratch your skin, you get up with a few marks because it's so dry. This is lip balm and skin moisturizer temperature. And drink plenty of water too. Just some scattered clouds in the Carolinas. Otherwise, sunny skies all the way back to the Mississippi River Valley. Big ridge of high pressure in the middle of the country. It's going to slide across the southeast and give us some great weather. Not only there, but up into Indiana, right along the Ohio River. Temperatures are very mild today. 79 down at the theme parks in Orlando and around Orlando. This is the big ridge of high pressure. It's almost 80 right now in Denver, the mile-high city. And as that moves east, that's just going to lock in the mild air that we have in place already in the southeast. Temperature in Atlanta at 71. That's your average high. But this weekend, temperatures will be 5 to 15 degrees above average. That's everybody shaded in red all the way up to my hometown in Philadelphia. And maybe Kyla's hometown up in Connecticut. A very nice weekend coming up both days, both Saturday and Sunday. The chance of rain for this area is absolutely 0. Temperatures in the 70s Saturday, 80s in many places on Sunday. Still low humidity. Perfect weather. There'll be a lot of Halloween trick-or-treating even this weekend. The weather should be perfect for kids, mom and dad too. Kyla, back to you.
Thank you, Dave. Well, for the 3rd time in 5 years, San Francisco will host a World Series game. Ahead of tonight's Game 3, we show you why weather may play the biggest role at AT&T Park, plus our prediction for a fan favorite. And it's the video that took your breath away a month ago. Now, thanks to new video, a different perspective, we see just how close one storm chaser got to the destruction of Hurricane Odile.
Get up to 20% off and 1,000 rewards points at bestwestern.com with a swipe, a tap, or a click. Get up to 20% off and enjoy breakfast, free high-speed internet, and 1,000 rewards points only at bestwestern.com.
Away is as much about getting there as it is being there. Away is where the days are packed with wonder, and the evenings are filled with familiar comforts. Find your Away. For a dealer in the RV that's right for you, visit GoRVing.com.
The Piano Guys, the YouTube sensations, return with their new album, Wonders, featuring the popular video tracks Kung Fu Piano and Let It Go from the movie Frozen. Available for the first time on CD. Available now.
This fall, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It will all start with the weather.
The weather's too important to cover in a few minutes.
It's starting to intensify.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
Look at this.
Listen to that.
See the weather like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, showers early, then partly cloudy overnight. Low 71. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 81. Saturday night, partly cloudy. Low 68. Winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, we're thinking even bigger, thinking about the specifics of your home and how you live in it. What if you could control your home's energy usage with a fingertip? Or just let us do all the work for you? Well, what if is now what is. Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Today we're getting record snowfall.
Radars indicate there's been flooding throughout the area.
We're getting hail the size of golf balls.
Maglite. Turn your light on, America.
We're almost there.
If your bladder is calling the shots, you may have a medical condition called overactive bladder, or OAB.
Again? But we just went.
Ask your doctor about Myrbetriq, Mirabegron, to treat the OAB symptoms of urgency, frequency, and leakage.
Seriously? It's time to go to the doctor.
Myrbetriq is the first and only medicine in its class for OAB.
Myrbetriq may increase your blood pressure. Myrbetriq may increase your chances of not being able to empty your bladder. Tell your doctor right away if you have trouble emptying your bladder or have a weak urine stream. Myrbetriq may affect or be affected by other medications. So tell your doctor about all the medicines you take. Before taking Myrbetriq, tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. Common side effects include increased blood pressure, common cold symptoms, urinary tract infection, and headache.
If your overactive bladder is calling the shots, ask your doctor about Myrbetriq. Visit mybladder.com to see if you're eligible for a year's worth of savings on Myrbetriq.
Hey, thanks for staying with us here in Weather Center Live. And tonight is a night many in the Bay Area have been waiting for as the World Series returns to San Francisco.
Beautiful San Francisco. We're taking a live look there now. And you know what? This park, as the Giants and the Royals prepare for tonight's game, it's an all-important Game 3.
Now, since we're talking sports and weather, we got to get Paul Goodlow in on this. He'll be along to break down the forecast for tonight's Game 3 and Game 4 tomorrow night. But first, we want to take an in-depth look at the actual stadium, AT&T Park.
Yeah, it's hard not to sway to that music. As meteorologist Mike Bettis shows us, it was a park built with the weather in mind.
This is where the Giants call home, and arguably the first baseball stadium with a design influenced by weather. Enter Bruce White, a nationally recognized authority in airflow physics at the University of California, Davis, asked by the Giants to help solve its windy issues.
Knowing the wind environment in the city of San Francisco, it could prove to be a challenge to work with that and make it a friendly, wind-friendly stadium.
Using a 1/50th scale model of downtown San Francisco, White's team tested 2 proposed stadium configurations in the school's wind tunnel. The blueprint the team architects originally favored had the grandstands to the east. This gave most of the fans a beautiful panoramic view to the west of downtown San Francisco. Now, the only problem with that is during baseball season, April through October, the prevailing wind in San Francisco is out of the west and northwest. And during wind tunnel testing, this park design and setup would actually double the winds of Old Candlestick Park.
The preferred design had the problem of the wind catching essentially the upper deck and swirling around like a vortex, really not unlike what was occurring at Candlestick Point.
It just wasn't going to work, and as much as everyone loves views here in San Francisco, we had to modify the design.
By rotating the stadium 135 degrees, the tall grandstands would now act as a wind buffer to the strong west and northwest breezes during the baseball season. It was this subtle change, all for the sake of weather, that would also create, inadvertently, one of baseball's most iconic right fields, as home runs would splash down in McCovey Cove.
Let's talk about the forecast for tonight's game here with the design of the stadium and the weather approaching. Well, again, first in terms of temperatures, it should feel pretty comfortable. 68 degrees with the wind from the southwest at 12 miles per hour. That southwest wind, well, it means that the winds will be blowing once again back to left field, just like they were in Kansas City the first night, which means we still have a slight edge for right-handed hitters hitting balls to the left field, perhaps even over the left field fence. So who exactly will benefit from this type of wind? Well, guys like Pablo Sandoval, a.k.a. the Panda. He bats from both sides of the plate, but he has 6 hits so far, but no home runs in the World Series. Also, he is a huge crowd favorite, and he is due. Get this, 2 years ago to the day, the Panda hit 3 home runs in 1 game in the World Series against the Tigers. All right, so definitely we're going to have a game 4 as well on Saturday. That's more interesting in terms of the weather. Rain coming in tomorrow night and then maybe lingering for the game. But the winds here, 16 miles per hour and a lot gustier as well, perhaps gusting to 25 miles per hour or more, which will really help pushing that ball well to the left side of the field. So again, the weather a much bigger player in tomorrow night's game, but slightly for tonight's game. And again, the winner of tonight's game, Game 3, in terms of percentages, if you win tonight, you go on to win the World Series 70% of the time.
Thank you, Paul.
There you have it. We've got a view of a hurricane that we're going to talk to the man caught right in the middle of it all. That's coming up next.
Oh, no.
Who are you?
Daddy, this is Blair. He booked this room with Priceline Express deals and saved a ton.
I got everything I wanted. I always do.
You seem nice. I had a lot of great memories in my Honda, but when I got my big new job, I thought maybe it's time for a new ride. And I left my Honda for a new Honda. Yes, sir, I'm on my way. My Honda Civic EXL came loaded with amazing tech, like Lane Watch, which I need apparently, and Rear View Camera, which is cray-cray. Yes, I did get you tuna, no mayo. No, I didn't.
Start something special with a Civic EXL from Honda, KBB.com's most trusted brand. At your Honda dealer.
Man, these boneless chicken wings are great.
Yeah, I know, and I finally found myself a wingman.
You're going to use the wing as your wingman?
Yeah, for the ladies.
How is that going to help you at all?
It's going to make me irresistible.
Oh, right. Yeah, going to give you that certain je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais what?
Jenna.
Did she mention me by name, or was it just kind of like, was she just talking in general?
I said je ne sais quoi.
I know, but what did she say?
Be a wingman with new all-white meat boneless chicken wings in 3 flavors and save room for creamy cheesecake bites. This is how you Sonic.
I just got charged for my credit score. Again.
You should check out Credit Karma. They're like free.
How?
Ads.
Credit Karma?
Yeah.
Credit Karma. Really free credit score.
You may not be a prepper now, but you will be.
Whether the next disaster is man-made or wrought by Mother Nature, you need a plan. WiseFoodStorage.com's emergency gourmet meals are made in the USA, delicious, easy to prepare, just add water, and packaged and proportioned perfectly, eliminating waste and creating a shelf life of up to 25 years. Why face your next emergency on an empty stomach? Request your free sample today at WiseFoodStorage.com.
Oh my God, what was that?
Sunday night, the Weather Channel unravels a new tale of weather legend.
Some of the drivers have reported apparitions. They see a ghostly mist.
The tingling, the stabbing and shooting pains, the numbness, the burning. Has life with diabetes become a pain? If you're suffering from pain in your feet, known as diabetic neuropathy, we invite you to learn more about the Rhapsody Study. Talk to your doctor or visit rhapsodystudy.com.
When everything's included, the kids get a vacation of their own, and so do we. But when we get together, it's the best time of all.
I can feel you again.
Right now, you can get up to 65% off. Call your travel agent or 1-800-BEACHES.
Humana now at 1-866-680-4971.
See the weather like never before.
Look at this!
Listen to that!
Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, showers early, then partly cloudy overnight. Low 71. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 81. Saturday night, partly cloudy. Low 68. Winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is Weather Center Live. Check out this video. Look at that. This is new video we just got in today. It's from Hurricane Odile that hit Cabo San Lucas, Mexico in mid-September. Now, this is surveillance video from the Holiday Inn Express in Cabo, and you can see the people ducking for cover. That was actually storm chaser Josh Morgerman. Now, we're going to hear from him in just a minute, but first, we're in the lab, and Dr. Greg Postel has been looking at this video. There's no sound to the video, so once we talk to Josh, we want to find out what he heard, right?
Yeah, because I'm thinking he heard a roar in the distance of that wind, probably over 100 miles per hour, coming at him and going from essentially calm to 100 in a couple of seconds, Dave.
Yeah.
I mean, they were, I guess, presumably in the eye when it was calm.
Yeah.
And then the backside of the eye wall came in. From all the accounts that we've heard, the backside of the eye wall was worse than the front side. So that's pretty remarkable stuff. Very dangerous, too.
Let's take a look at the video here.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that is incredible stuff. So if you part of this video is they're sort of sitting there, and before this happened, and they knew they were in the eye. I'm assuming they were. And what happened was the wind just, look at that, just comes howling inside the building.
And the guy in the black T-shirt is shooting the video, I believe.
That is pretty
He's gone out of the shot there, but there you see with his cell phone, and that's the video we're seeing on the right side of the screen.
Correct. The video, some of it's being shot here, and this is what you see on this side. Right, and I've been in a situation not quite this bad, but I've been through the eye of a hurricane, and all of a sudden it gets very bad. The eye wall, the worst part, the little rings that surrounds the eye, and sometimes you can tell it's coming because if you can see like power lights flashing on the horizon, all of a sudden power poles are getting blown down, then you know a really bad wind is coming. I'm not sure they had that kind of warning here.
So you think there's a possibility that they went from the calm of the eye to 100-mile-an-hour winds within like 5 seconds, and that's when the doors blew off and everything started crashing?
I think that's what happened. We can ask him to find out.
All right. Well, let's see if we can get Josh in here. We have him on Skype. Am I right? Is he available? Beautiful. Josh Morgerman, you look like you're in a much safer place than you were back there in that Holiday Inn Express.
Yes.
Did you just hear the conversation that Dr. Postell and I were having about?
Yes, I did. I was listening.
Okay, so we'd like to know from you, since we don't have the sound, was it already windy outside, or did you go from eye calm to eye wall wild in just seconds?
Your interpretation was very close. We cleared the eye and went back into the eye wall a couple of minutes before that explosion happened. The wind picked up very, very quickly, very little buildup, just all of a sudden it went up to a roar, and we heard a banging sound for about a minute, and the hotel manager said, "That sounds like gunshots," and I said, "Yeah, that does sound like gunshots," and all of a sudden, boom, and that's when you see everything start flying. So it took a couple of minutes of the wind pounding at that speed for everything to go flying. But the buildup from calm to crazy was very quick, as you guys describe it.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing. So it sounds like they were actually in part of the eye wall already, but then the building was stressed so much that the wind actually finally came in, and that's exactly what we're seeing. That's you must have been afraid for your life. I mean, that flying debris is lethal potentially.
Absolutely. You know, as a storm chaser, you're always just trying to get, deep in the storm, in the teeth of it. And this was one of the few times in my career where I felt like, wow, I got deep in it. It got real. It was like front row seat, and it was absolutely scary. I'll say it. It was, just the impact of it.
So do you want to do it again? I mean, does going through something like this make you think, well, wait a minute, what did I just do? I value my life. I'm not going to do it again. What are your thoughts on that?
I think this is part of the mental illness of being a storm chaser. Yes, I do want to do it again.
Would you do anything differently, knowing that kind of thing can happen?
Yeah, I think, in retrospect, I think it wasn't wise that we were standing in a wide span lobby with a whole wall of glass. Like that, just, rethinking that probably wasn't the best thinking. It just honestly, it didn't occur to us that it was going to be that bad. I have to be honest, Odile it exceeded every expectation. We did not expect such a severe hurricane on the Baja California Peninsula. So there was lesson learned there, is that you just never know what these things are going to bring.
Well, glad to hear you're well.
That was professional storm chaser Josh Morgerman. Thank you so much, Josh. Well, I'll tell you, parents, it's not too early to start making Halloween plans.
Right.
You're a parent, right?
I am.
Coming up, we're looking 1 week into the future, weather-wise.
From restoring damage in just one room to an entire building, turn to the cleanup team that's here in your community and here to help at 1-800-SERVE-PRO, like it never even happened.
What does an apron have to do with car insurance? An apron is hard work. An apron is pride in what you do. An apron is not quitting until you've made something a little better. What does an apron have to do with car insurance? For us, everything.
People everywhere are falling in love with the incredible Shark Rotator.
It is the best vacuum cleaner that I have ever owned.
No wonder Shark is now the most recommended vacuum in America.
It is wonderful. I love it.
To celebrate, Shark CEO Mark Rosen has put together an incredible offer for his amazing Shark Rotator, with the opportunity to get the famous Shark Steam Mop free. Keep watching. The Shark Rotator is truly next-generation cleaning technology. It's so advanced it even deep cleans carpets better than Dyson's newest vacuum, but at a fraction of the cost. And only the Rotator has Shark's patented lift-away design, making that same no loss of suction cleaning power portable. And if you have pets, you'll be amazed at how easily it picks up even the finest pet hair.
Having the Shark makes it a lot quicker to pick up cat hair.
No more dog hair in this carpet. It's a definite must if you own a pet.
The Rotator has a totally sealed system so advanced it locks in 99.9% of the dust and dander so they don't escape back into the air you breathe.
My kids have allergies,
and we love our rotator vacuum.
Call now and the Shark Rotator along with this onboard tool set can be yours for just 4 easy payments of $49.95. What a deal!
You get an incredible product for a fraction of the cost.
You just feel like you have a clean house.
And when you order from Shark, Mark will give you his incredible VIP service guarantee.
If anything goes wrong in the next 5 years, we'll take care of everything, even the shipping costs both ways. You pay absolutely nothing, guaranteed.
You have nothing to lose because if you're not completely happy with your Shark Rotator, just send it back and Shark will even pay the return shipping. But if you do order today, Mark will also send you his best-selling steam mop, a $100 value, free.
It's yours to keep, even if you decide to return the rotator.
That's right. The amazing Shark Rotator is yours for just 4 easy payments of $49.95, and the steam mop is free. Call now and get a Shark, the most recommended vacuum in America.
It's just freaking me out.
If you missed this Sunday night on the Weather Channel,
this is crazy.
You'll never know how twisted weather can be.
Is it real? Yeah, it's real.
Wicked Weather Sundays with strangest weather on Earth and American Supernatural. Every Sunday night at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, showers early, then partly cloudy overnight. Low 71. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 81. Saturday night, partly cloudy. Low 68. Winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weather like never before.
Look at this!
Listen to that!
Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
See the rotation in the clouds and everything. Yeah. There's a tornado forming right there.
Oh my God!
It's over here to the left.
Look at the funnel!
Copy, 3 into a building.
Shingles flying everywhere.
Look at the wood being flung around.
But there's a bunch of debris flying around in the air.
Just lift it up.
What?
At least 8 buildings are damaged, a number of homes.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah, a tornado took a small Washington town by surprise, and it looks like the Northwest will be dealing with wet, windy weather for a few more days. Not great news there. Hey there, thank you for joining us. It's great news that you're here today. I'm Kyla Grogan.
And I'm Dave Schwartz. Yeah, that was in Oklahoma. That was in Alabama.
Right.
That was Washington State. Right. Hey, I'm Dave Schwartz. It's good to see you. Sunshine and warm weather for the rest of the country today and the weekend. But we begin in the Northwest. Now, here's a live look at Seattle. We've got clouds. We don't have any threats for thunder showers today or any funnel clouds and hardly any rain, but that's about to change. Is that right, Kyla?
It is. They're kind of socked in there, though, with those clouds. They're about 58 degrees right now. It seems like that'd be a good day to just cuddle up in bed. A good excuse maybe to take it easy tonight. We are going to have that stormy weather, not just today with those clouds. We're going to see it continue through the weekend. We've also had an incredible amount of rain throughout the year. In fact, since January 1st, over 36 inches of rain. And if you're thinking that seems like a lot, yes, it's almost 12 inches above average. So almost an additional foot of rain that you would get on average. That's a lot. Right now, though, as you can see, the radar looking just fine. Not really anything showing up, but we do have that cloud cover. And as we look to the south, we do see those showers rolling on into Oregon. Just the lighter showers right now. However, lurking off the coast, here comes the next storm system. This is going to bring in more rain, more wind. As we look at the water vapor map there, you start to see that plume of moisture where the pink is that really shows you what's going to be happening. So tomorrow you can see it's all the way from Seattle down to San Francisco where, yes, we've got that World Series game that's going to be going on. As we get into Sunday, California, you start to clear out. But those of you in Seattle, Portland, certainly still going to be dealing with it. You start to see the pinks and the blues. We get up into the mountains. We could see some snow as well. And that is not just for the Cascade Mountains. We head over here into Montana and Idaho. Yeah, they're going to see some of that too all the way through Monday. So it is a little bit of a rough ride this weekend, so just prepare yourself for it. Make those plans accordingly. We could see pockets of 2 to 3 inches of rain, but most of us looking at 1 to 2 in the Washington State area and down into Oregon. San Francisco in the Northern California area, about 1 inch of rain. And I did have someone just tweet me and say, you know, they're so happy to see the rain in Northern California. Obviously, that state's had incredible drought to deal with. So a little bit of a positive spin there. But it is going to be cloudy and rainy and windy, and we'll look out for that on Saturday in Seattle. You can see a few showers tonight in the overnight hours. Temperatures coming down there in the 50s as we get into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Break out the umbrella, Dave.
Thank you, Kyla, or as some of us call it, the bumbershoot there in the Pacific Northwest. Well, one question in the middle of the country, will Denver, Colorado reach a record for heat today? We're getting close. Look at that. Our record high for the date is 80. We're 78 downtown. At the airport, 79. So I think we're going over the top here. Our average high is almost 20 degrees cooler than that. It is warm in the west, at least away from that next storm that Kyla just talked about. And when you consider a storm in the west coast, that's a trough of low pressure. There's a big ridge of high pressure from the Rockies eastward. That's why it is so warm out here. There's your 79 at the airport, 81 in Brighton, 79, 82 down there in Colorado Springs. It is some fantastic day, and we're sharing that with our friends all over the place. The fog has broken. It's gone. The sun is out here in Omaha, 72 degrees. We're already above average for the day, and there'll be some records set today. How about Bismarck, North Dakota? Yesterday, a record 77 after a low in the morning of 30. Try dressing the kids for that, huh? Warm air is going to be spreading east. So not only our friends here in Denver, but St. Louis, Indianapolis, Detroit, Atlanta, some of those cities have been involved in the cold air behind our nor'easter. This weekend, a whole nother story, my friend. Here we go, 10 to 20 degrees above average. That means Denver, you could be back in the 80s again tomorrow. Pierre, South Dakota. Here's the brunt of the heat. Oklahoma and Texas right under the ridge of that, the middle of that high pressure ridge. High temperature is going to approach or maybe even exceed the 90-degree mark all the way through Monday. Overnight low temperatures 50s and 60s. So a little late summer weather here in the Southern Plains. Kyla, back to you.
Thank you, Dave. Well, we are just 1 week away from Halloween. Trick or treat and party plans, they all hinge on the forecast, right? What are you going to wear? You want to make sure you know what the weather's happening that night. So we're going to look into the future to let you know what's on the way. And our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel, is live in the lab with a look of what to expect. Tricks or treats, Dr. Postel? That's what we want to know with the weather.
Well, you know, Kyla, I mean, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to dress up in my ghost outfit, which is a sheet. Do I wear a thin little sheet or a really thick white blanket over my head? Because I don't know if it's going to be warm or cold. That's the kind of thing that I have to worry about for Halloween. But you know what? I also have to worry about it because it matters, the forecast. The Euro has the jet stream. The European model has a jet stream for next Friday looking like that. Now, a lot of us are familiar with jet stream patterns and know that the ridge in the west and a trough in the east mean warm in the west and generally cool in the east. And in fact, the Euro model, at least last night's run, was showing that. And I'll tell you what, it was pretty darn cold in parts of the upper Midwest, including Chicago, any place in there, Lexington, Nashville, even down here in Atlanta. But here's the thing. That's one model, and you can't look at one model and think you know the answer, especially when you're talking about 6 or 7 days out. You have to look at a whole lot because none of the models are right. They're all wrong to some degree. So you tweak the models a little bit to try to get an understanding of the uncertainty associated with the forecast that far out. So here's some of the different model runs. When you tweak the model a little bit, do you get the same answer? If you kind of get the same answer over and over again after tweaking it a little bit, you get a sense that maybe that's the pattern that's going to happen. You get a consensus. So here are those different tweaks to the model, and they are showing a jet stream dip next Friday in the eastern third of the country. So when I look at this, I kind of think to myself, yeah, we're probably going to see a trough in the East Coast. How strong is it? Probably not as strong as that original forecast that I showed you, more like something here in the middle. But I think it's more likely to be colder than average in the eastern third of the country than warmer than average for your Halloween. So here's our official forecast for next Friday. Chicago, 53. Charlotte, 71. Do you know what I'm thinking? There's a risk to this. You saw a lot of those models were showing a trough in the east, I'm thinking the likelihood is to be colder than that. If I were to bet and go one side or the other, I would say more likely the risk in the forecast is to go colder in the east with maybe some stormy conditions on the east coast. Stay tuned for that. And overall, on the confidence level, out of 10, I'm giving this a 4 out of 10. So stay tuned. And I'm thinking I might even up these numbers a little bit with a new data that just keeps rolling on in. Dave and Kyla, back to you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Postel. So that's next Friday, but let's talk about this weekend, because I think a lot of people are getting ready to get out and make their plans. I want to get you your forecast.
There are Oktoberfests all over the place, fall festivals, apple festivals, and the weather's going to be great. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, really, with the exception of the West Coast there, you can see that rain and that wind from Seattle down to San Francisco. The rest of you, look at Chicago, 69 degrees on Saturday. The heat is in Dallas. They'll be in the 90s, but it's going to be beautiful and clear throughout the Northeast. So look at Sunday, another beautiful day.
Yeah, a little northwest wind into New York City, but at least we'll be rain-free, partly cloudy, kind of breezy. But all in all, Miami gets a chance to dry out this weekend after one wet
and they're
week,
ready for that. Hey, look at Atlanta, Georgia, where you and I are sitting here at the Weather Channel headquarters. 82 on Sunday.
Sweet.
Got to get outside and enjoy it.
I'll tell you, there's one thing that won't be happening this weekend, and that's this, lake effect snow. Coming up next, we take a look at how this strange and powerful weather phenomenon happens.
And if you missed yesterday's partial solar eclipse, we've got you covered. Some of the best shots coming up in your top 5 videos.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, showers early, then partly cloudy overnight. Low 71. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 81. Saturday night, partly cloudy. Low 68. Winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I'm an Idaho potato farmer, and our big Idaho potato truck is still missing. So my buddy here is going to help me find it. Here we go! It's out there somewhere, spreading the word about America's favorite potato, heart-healthy Idaho potatoes, and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women campaign. If you see it, I hope you'll let us know. Always look for the Grown in Idaho seal.
Show it off, America. Show off that belt you replaced. Show off the fuel pump, the oil change, the upgrade. You did it. There are a lot of places you can go to do it yourself, but there's only one place that can help you do it right. AutoZone. Because even the pros know parts are just part of what we do. We have the advice, the instructions, we even loan tools. So show it off, America. You did it right. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Started my Camry. Picked up someone I hadn't seen in far too long. Went somewhere we'd both never been. Did something we'd both never done. And was reminded that the most important things in life aren't things, they're people.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, comfort can also mean efficiency. Because being more efficient with your home heating can mean spending less on it. And that's something everyone can get comfortable with. If you're ready for Carrier comfort, now you can get cool cash rebates of up to $1,450 on a new system. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Let's take these piggies out for new carpet. No, not those. These. Let's get in touch with texture. Something with a twist. Let's look at loops and get a feel for patterns in all sorts of colors. But let's not break the bank. Then, let's get it rolled out right. The perfect carpet? Yeah. Let's bring it all the way home. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Schedule a measure today. Carpet installation is now just $37.
Get up to 20% off and 1,000 rewards points at bestwestern.com with a swipe, a tap, or a click. Get up to 20% off and enjoy breakfast, free high-speed internet, and 1,000 rewards points. Only at bestwestern.com.
Approaching Medicare eligibility? Don't put off checking out your Medicare options until 65. Now is a good time to get the ball rolling. Medicare only covers about 80% of Part B medical costs. The rest is up to you. That's where AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plans, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company, come in. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement Insurance Plans, they could help save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. Taking informed steps really makes a difference later. That's what it means to go long. Call now and request this free decision guide and explore the range of AARP Medicare supplement plans. All plans like these let you choose any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. These are the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP. Call now and request your free decision guide and start gathering the information you need to help you go long.
So, as my personal financial psychic, I'm sure you know what this meeting is about.
Yes, a raise.
I'm letting you go.
I knew that.
You see, this is my Amerivest managed...
Balances.
No, portfolio. And if it doesn't perform well for 2 consecutive...
Gold.
Quarters,
yeah.
Then Amerivest gives me back their advisory...
Stocks.
Fees for those quarters.
Yeah.
So, I'm confident I'm in good hands.
For all the confidence you need, TD Ameritrade. You got this.
Did you know that one of the strangest weather phenomena on Earth happens in the fall and winter? Did you know, Dave?
Well, I understand it could be a monster. Let's see.
It's coming.
Office workers are amazed as a band of insane weather unexpectedly hits their building.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that within 5 minutes.
At Lake Michigan, storm chaser Reed Timmer is also hit by sudden and dramatic weather.
Very intense right now. Intense snowfall rates. Heaviest we've seen so far.
But these are no ordinary snowstorms. Because strangely, these intense blizzards are very localized. Only a few miles away, there are blue skies and sunshine.
It went from being a calm, dry, cold day to a raging blizzard in just a matter of miles. Wave after wave of whiteout conditions and extremely heavy snow and real intense winds coming off the lake. Big time Lake effect snow blizzard. That's the next cell coming in right there. It's going to be insane.
This phenomenon is known as lake effect snow.
Wicked Weather Sundays begins 9 p.m. Eastern with a new episode of Strangest Weather on Earth, followed by the spooktacular American Supernatural at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Okay, there is a new book on shelves that has the weather community at odds. It's about Superstorm Sandy and why a great forecast still wasn't enough to save lives.
This could be a Christmas gift to a weather geek. Huh?
There you go.
Yep, it's the focus of this week's Weather Geeks show.
There were some challenges that you revealed in the book in terms of the warning process. The National Hurricane Center had a really good handle on what was going on, but there were some challenges in terms of what we call the storm, how we warn for it. What were some of the lessons that you took from your research on the book?
Well, the storm, as you know, started off as a very traditional hurricane. And in fact, the forecasts in terms of both intensity and track were really quite good by the National Hurricane Center.
Sure.
But what happened several days in is the storm began to take on this hybrid characteristic.
Sure.
And as soon as that happened, we saw some really serious gaps in how we deal with weather information.
And you can see more from Dr. Shepard this Sunday when he hosts Weather Geeks.
This week's show is an inside look at Superstorm Sandy. Why can't I say that? And the untold stories that have meteorologists all across the country disagreeing with each other.
We can agree on this. It is time for the top 5 videos we're talking about today, including a Pac-Man-like eclipse and nice shots very close to the tornado in Washington State yesterday.
Washington State, here we go.
Boom.
Up top for number 5. This is when Hurricane Odile hit Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. This was was September. Now, we've seen parts of this video before, but this is a new one from surveillance cameras as they capture the moment from different angles.
So scary. Number 4, did you see this? It was so cool. A partial solar eclipse, a time-lapse view that you're looking at now, began in eastern Siberia and moved east with the moon blocking out part of the sun, finally reaching North America just before sunset. If you missed it, you're going to have to wait a while. The next one in 2023.
Number 3, look at the clouds here.
Yeah.
This is Alger, Washington. We had some thunder showers here. Look at the spinning right there. There was a little spin up, almost a tornado.
And we're going to go to number 2. Surprise in the sky over Washington state as dark clouds appear and debris starts to fly. Now, this one was an EF1 tornado, and it had a 1-mile path as it went right through Longview, Washington. Look at that dumpster just flying down the road.
Wow. That's why you don't want to be outside. You might handle the wind, but what's the wind blowing at you? And this is the tornado, same tornado in Longview, Washington, right off of Interstate 5 between Seattle and Portland. A great shot of a funnel. Hopefully these people didn't get too close to that thing. Huh?
Yeah, and so far no injuries reported, so we're happy to say with that. Well, we'd love to see your photos and videos. Please be safe while taking them. You can send them to us at weather.com/photos. Lots more ahead for you here on Weather Center Live.
All oil and water don't mix. Everybody knows that. And it gets even worse when millions of dollars are at stake. A story from deep in the bayou. After your local on the 8th, that is.
And let's talk football. Stillwater, Oklahoma. If you're going to watch the West Virginia Mountaineers take on the Oklahoma State Cowboys, sunshine, and it is going to be warm, everybody, tomorrow.
Summer's over. The kids have grown 2 sizes.
We all need new coats.
Burlington has so many great options for the season. Scarves, jackets, shoes, great brands.
And the prices won't break the bank.
3 kids' coats for under $90.
Look out, Winter.
Here come the Wilsons. Check.
Energizer protects your devices from damaging leaks. Guaranteed.
You again. Gorilla Glue. Of course.
Water activated, original Gorilla Glue expands into the materials to form an incredibly strong bond for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Sunday nights. When the wind blows. The Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets.
I saw something. I don't know how to explain it.
Every Sunday.
It's a story that's got a life of its own.
A new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far worse.
American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, showers early, then partly cloudy overnight. Low 71. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 81. Saturday night, partly cloudy. Low 68. Winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
I loved my trusty Honda, but I kept noticing all the amazing tech new cars have lately. How much for this? $2. So I looked around.
When is this even from?
I don't know. And I decided to leave my Honda. Or a new Honda. My Accord EXL has super cool tech features like forward collision warning, audio touchscreen, and Honda Lane Watch. New is good.
How much for this?
That's not for sale.
Oh.
Start something special with an Accord EXL from Honda. KBB.com's most trusted brand. At your Honda dealer.
19 years ago, we thought, wow, how is there no way to tell the good from the bad? So we gave people the power of the review. And now Angie's List is revolutionizing local service again. You can easily buy and schedule services from top-rated providers. Conveniently stay up to date on progress and effortlessly turn your photos into finished projects with our SnapFix app. Visit angieslist.com today.
This is a map of the pressure points on my feet.
I had flat feet. I learned where the stress was at the Dr. Scholl's Foot Mapping Center. Then I got my number, which matched the custom-fit orthotic inserts with the right support.
Go to drscholls.com for locations and save $10.
I'm a believer.
Don't let back pain limit your life. I'm Erlene Mandrell, the Mandrell Sisters, and I'd like to share a solution with you.
Get the DDS 500 with no out-of-pocket cost to you with Medicare and other major insurances. The only patented back support that provides adjustable traction. The DDS 500 adjusts to your comfort level and fits discreetly under.
For my new kitchen, do I want traditional or contemporary? Range or cooktop? Electric or gas? 36, 48, or 60? Side by side, over and under, French door, integrated or built 18, 30, 36, or 48? Single or double? Red or black? What about wine storage? What kind of hand convection? What about ice?
Our experts turn questions into answers at the Sub-Zero and Wolf Living Kitchen.
What if a home phone could also be a smartphone? And what if that home phone could save you money on your home and wireless bill at the same time? With Xfinity Voice, you get amazing technology like readable voicemail on your smartphone, caller ID on your TV, and even text messaging, all for a low price. Start saving with unlimited nationwide talk and text and switch to Xfinity Voice for just $19.99 a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Code Free 1000. Ready for a new breed of broker? There's a name for people like you. Trade King. Switch today.
See the weather like never before.
Look at this!
Listen to that!
Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. It's time for your tropical update. I'm hurricane specialist Dr. Greg Postel with an overview now of a tropical atmosphere that's kind of quieting down. To be expected, right, in late October. Let's have a look at the overview. We've got Tropical Storm Anna out in the Pacific Ocean, really about ready to become extratropical, meaning it's going to get carried up in the jet stream and move that way and maybe merge with another weather system and give some enhanced rainfall to the northwest. An area to watch here, though, which is now Invest 94L in parts of the Caribbean. Kind of looks like a mess of clouds right there, just to the east of the Yucatan and south of Cuba. Well, what's going to happen with this guy? Probably not much. I mean, we're giving it a 20% chance of turning into a depression or a named storm in the next 5 days. Look at what the models do to it. Not really much. But you know what you can tell from this is that the airflow is out of the north. That means cooler and drier air is coming in to clean out the tropics from all the tropical risk, at least for a while. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Postel. Oil and water don't mix, and it's a battle people living in the coastal marshlands of Louisiana know all too well.
Jim Cantore explains what happens when land sinks and the oil money is on the line.
To the outsider, southern Louisiana is full of good food, people, and laughter. Cajuns are proud of their heritage, proud to call this part of the country home. A home now threatened by state officials, unmoved by this region's long ties to its land. Early settlers lived in camps built on stilts next to the swamp and raised cattle. But there's another commodity this area relies on.
It's rich in oil and gas. It would be an asset for the state. A lot of the monies, the revenues that the state gets, they depend on this oil and gas revenue to come in.
Bonnie Broussard's family is one of the largest undivided landowners in this area, where generations have lived and died. But there's more than the rich history and culture here. It lies beneath the surface and is much more valuable.
That's the sound of money.
And there's a lot to be made from natural gas and oil reserves beneath the ground. Landowners have leased their property since the 1930s, collecting royalties from oil and gas companies ever since. But the flow of cash is under attack by the state, according to Warren Perrin, who's representing family landowners in this battle for oil and gas royalties. But how is property ownership determined?
Water bottoms of navigable streams, including the shoreline up to the high water mark in the winter, is owned by the state of Louisiana. And because Louisiana has a problem with eroding shorelines, this has created a dilemma for many landowners, whereby it's caused the state of Louisiana to begin using this law to claim lands.
Rising waters and powerful storms like Ike, Rita, and Katrina have eroded more of Louisiana's shorelines, putting more of the land underwater.
The warmth of the Gulf waters, I've seen the storms get a lot larger, and when the storms get wider, they impact the coastline for a longer amount of time before they move in. The damage is that the continuous turning of the water.
The state has laid claim to the land that is underwater and the oil royalties that go with it. Perrin contends that state officials have failed to protect the land because it controls what erodes and what doesn't through the placement of dredged material and levees. The families find themselves in a tug of war between oil and water because many of them rely on oil companies for their livelihoods.
And we depend on oil and gas industries to make our living. We depend on seafood, but we depend on the oil and gas industry too. As long as the oil and gas industry is here and is a good tenant of the land and preserves our land and takes care of it, then we can work with oil and gas and they can work with us.
Still, for families who have lived here for 3 centuries, the land alone is worth fighting for.
At night, the beauty comes just from the light. You see all the stars, no electricity. It's the wildlife comes to light, the sounds at night. It's just it's a beautiful place to be.
And still to come on Weather Center Live, a beautiful weekend is coming up for most of us. But there is one exception.
Yes, plus we're going to have an up-close look at the eye wall of a hurricane, a Category 3. You'll hear from a man just feet away from all of that exploding glass. That's when we come back. Stay with us.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, showers early, then partly cloudy overnight. Low 71. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 81. Saturday night, partly cloudy. Low 68. Winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now on Weather Center Live, the power of a deadly hurricane caught on camera. Coming up, hear from the man sitting just feet away from flying glass shattered by a Category 3 storm.
Wow. And speaking of sudden and unexpected, a tornado hits a small Washington town. That's Washington State. Tonight, we're tracking the threat of strong wind and heavy rain moving into the same area this weekend. From the Weather Channel headquarters in Atlanta, you're watching Weather Center Live. It's Friday, October 24th. It's the top of the hour. Thanks for watching. I'm Dave Schwartz.
Yeah, happy Friday, everybody. And Dave, you too. I'm Kyla Grogan. The nor'easter is moving out and making way for a nice weekend in New England, but a much different story for those in the Northwest. People from Seattle to San Francisco will be dealing with rain and some strong wind gusts.
Yeah, this is going to be a big one. There's even an isolated threat of a tornado. Now, this one, you don't see a funnel cloud, but you certainly do see the swirl and the debris. And that is a dumpster moving down the street. That is on the Oregon border near Longview, Washington. Actually, that's where this is taking place. Winds estimated between 86 and 110 miles an hour. It's an EF1 tornado. It caused some serious roof damage to businesses and homes. What's it look like out there today, and what about the weekend, Kyla?
Well, unfortunately, we do have more stormy weather headed their way. We cannot rule out the possibility of another isolated chance of a tornado, but through the weekend, the Northwest in its entirety is going to be dealing with rain and wind. Not so bad bad right now. You do see a little rain making its way into Oregon, but we just see the green. You don't see the yellows and the reds, so some lighter showers. However, this system right offshore is strengthening. It's going to bring all of that wind and that rain right on in yet again to some of the same parts of the country. So there's our low pressure system. You see that big dip in the jet stream. That's going to help provide some of the energy to draw all of that moisture in as we head into tonight and our Saturday. That's the story. So that moist flow will continue. And as you can see, tomorrow it makes its way all the way down to San Francisco. And yes, that is the site of a World Series game. By Sunday, California, you're out of it, but that rain still certainly going to be in the northwest for Seattle and Portland. You start to see those pinks and those blues. We can see some mountain snow as well, and that heads over into Idaho and Montana, even heading down into Yellowstone there. They could see a little snow. But the wind will be a big component of this. Unfortunately, it makes it a little nasty when the wind kicks up. So we look at the forecast for the wind, and you can see as we get into our Saturday, heading towards the afternoon, those winds picking up. You can see 20 to 25 mile per hour winds at the Washington coastline. And it's going to continue for us. As we get into Saturday night, it should start to ramp down a little bit with the wind, but all told, it's a lot of rain coming your way. 2 to 3 additional inches for the northern parts of Washington state, about 1 to 2 for those of you in Portland and Bedford, and about an inch in San Francisco. Yes, it's a good thing to get some rain in Northern California. They could use it. Maybe the timing, not so great with that World Series game. We'll talk more about that a little later in the show. But Portland, Oregon, it's going to be a bit of a stormy run as we head across our weekend, so get ready for that wind and that rain. Temperatures in the 60s on Saturday. It will pull your temperatures back a few degrees. That's about where we should be this time of year, but chilly morning there on Sunday in the 40s, and heading into your work week, take that umbrella. You'll need it. Dave.
And not too far from Portland, Oregon, a funnel cloud. Doesn't look like much, but it touched down. It caused plenty of damage. KGW's Nina Melhalf shows us some of the worst.
A lot of damage still on the ground here in Longview, Washington. Take a look. This is some of the most visual representation of what happened yesterday afternoon. This cinder block wall at this towing company was no match for this tornado. It brought down tons of bricks right down on top of one of their towing vehicles and just made a complete mess of their backyard here. Luckily, nobody was hurt in the city. No employees in this building were hurt, but boy, were they sure freaked out when this EF1 tornado came right over the top of their building. The National Weather Service says there were 110 mile per hour winds. This thing covered almost a mile and a half, and people could see the funnel forming in the dark sky. They got their cell phone cameras out and started taking pictures of it. All of a sudden, debris, roofing, garbage cans, even a huge trampoline, all tossed in the air. At least 8 buildings were damaged, and a number of homes and trees were uprooted. Now, also, the National Weather Service is here on the ground surveying all this damage today. They say the last time this happened in Washington, it was down in Vancouver in 1972. So this is obviously very rare, and it really came out of nowhere. We've had a few days of rain and some higher winds gusting in the 40, 50 mile per hour range, but nothing like this. Luckily, no one was hurt. Back to you.
And we'll be hearing more about stormy weather in the Pacific Northwest in coming weeks, because this is the beginning of the wet season for them. Meanwhile, on the East Coast, we're clearing out of New York City and in places such as Atlanta. And look at that, from the Coca-Cola World headquarters in Atlanta, a shot of the city. Visibility is pretty good, and it is mild. Just a couple of degrees above average. Your current temperature in Atlanta is 73 degrees. Notice low 70s all across the metropolitan area. And would you believe it? It's also 73 in Grand Forks, North Dakota. That's right. It's mild in the southeast, but warm in the nation's heartland. And it's that warm in the nation's heartland that's headed east. Here we go, my friend. Here's a look at Atlanta. Some more details if you like to keep track of that kind of thing. Mostly sunny, 73. The high clouds shooting out, an upper level disturbance moving across the southern Appalachians. No rain for you in North or South Carolina at all. Just another beautiful day. Still windy up there around Norfolk, Virginia, but that'll let up tomorrow. The forecast is for this big ridge of high pressure that's got us really baking in the plains, going to move eastward. So this is child's play compared to what you're up for Saturday and Sunday. I know a lot of the kiddies are going to be trick-or-treating this weekend. A lot of towns are taking care of that during the weekend rather than waiting for next Friday. And the weather is going to just cooperate perfectly. Here's the ridge of the heat under this right here, and that's going to migrate eastward along with me. and sit right over Atlanta and Pittsburgh and Buffalo and Charlotte, Frankfort, Kentucky. Temperatures running 5 to 15 degrees above average both Saturday and Sunday. Here, a look at some of the numbers. 70s for the most part in these states and these cities tomorrow. 80s on Sunday. Not bad. Kyla?
Not bad at all. Thank you, Dave. Well, for the third time in 5 years, San Francisco will host a World Series game. Ahead of tonight's game there, we show you why weather may play the biggest role at AT&T Park, plus our prediction for a fan favorite. And it's the video that took your breath away a month ago. Now, thanks to new video, a new perspective, we see just how close one storm chaser got to the destruction of Hurricane Odile. And speaking of San Francisco, let's take a live look at the beautiful city by the bay. Yeah, we're looking at the place where that World Series game will be played throughout the weekend. Look out, those Saturday showers on the way.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing. But Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
When myths become reality, a lost city rises from the sea, and your vacation becomes legendary. Discover all the wonders of Atlantis, including Aquaventure Water Park and the thrill of the Atlantis Casino. Book now, and kids under 12 eat breakfast and dinner free with the purchase of an adult meal plan. Only at Atlantis.
I have visions I can't control. Are we gonna help each other out or not?
Everyone who puts their trust in me dies.
Constantine premieres tonight at 10/9 Central after the premiere of Grimm on NBC.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, showers early, then partly cloudy overnight. Low 71. Chance of rain 40%. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 81. Saturday night, partly cloudy. Low 68. Winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Let's take these piggies out for new carpet. No, not those. These. Let's get in touch with texture. Something with a twist. Let's look at loops and get a feel for patterns in all sorts of colors. But let's not break the bank. Then, let's get it rolled out right. The perfect carpet? Yeah. Let's bring it all the way home. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Schedule a measure today. Carpet installation is now just $37.
Discover Brookside and discover an exciting combination of tastes. Rich dark chocolate covering soft centers, flavored with exotic fruit juices. It's chocolate and fruit flavors like you've never experienced before. Discover Brookside.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, we're thinking even bigger, thinking about the specifics of your home and how you live in it. What if you could control your home's energy usage with a fingertip? Or just let us do all the work for you? Well, what if is now what is. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Sir, we're going to need you on the runway.
TheraFlu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. TheraFlu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. TheraFlu, serious power.
Seatbelts, headrests, and airbags help you survive a crash. But if you upgrade your headlights, you may even avoid one. See farther, wider, better. Silver Star Ultra headlights from Sylvania.
Okay, the Giants split 2 games of the World Series in Kansas City. Now they go back home. Here we are in the Bay Area. That's AT&T Stadium.
Hey, and it's gorgeous there, 70 degrees right now.
Perfect.
A live look as the Giants and the Royals prepare for tonight's all-important Game 3. What a view that stadium
Beautiful,
has, right?
and it looks like the wind is blowing out to the outfield. Paul Goodlow will be along to break down the forecast, the weather forecast for tonight's Game 3 and 4 tomorrow night. But first, we want to take an in-depth look at the AT&T Park itself.
Yes, because as meteorologist Mike Bettis shows us, it was a park built with the weather in mind.
Is where the Giants call home, and arguably the first baseball stadium with a design influenced by weather. Enter Bruce White, a nationally recognized authority in airflow physics at the University of California, Davis, asked by the Giants to help solve its windy issues.
Knowing the wind environment in the city of San Francisco, it could prove to be a challenge to work with that and make it a friendly, wind-friendly stadium.
Using a 1/50th scale model of downtown San Francisco, White's team tested 2 proposed stadium configurations in the school's wind tunnel. The blueprint the team architects originally favored had the grandstands to the east. This gave most of the fans a beautiful panoramic view to the west of downtown San Francisco. Now, the only problem with that is during baseball season, April through October, the prevailing wind in San Francisco is out of the west and northwest. And during wind tunnel testing, this park design and setup would actually double the winds of Old Candlestick Park.
The preferred design had the problem of the wind catching essentially the upper deck and swirling around like a vortex, really not unlike what was occurring at Candlestick Point.
It just wasn't going to work, and as much as everyone loves views here in San Francisco, we had to modify the design.
By rotating the stadium 135 degrees, the tall grandstands would now act as a wind buffer to the strong west and northwest breezes during the baseball season. It was this subtle change, all for the sake of weather, that would also create, inadvertently, one of baseball's most iconic right fields, as home runs would splash down in McCovey Cove.
Let's talk about the forecast for tonight's game here with the design of the stadium and the weather approaching. Well, again, first in terms of temperatures, it should feel pretty comfortable. 68 degrees with the wind from the southwest at 12 miles per hour. That southwest wind, well, it means that the winds will be blowing once again back to left field, just like they were in Kansas City the first night, which means we still have a slight edge for right-handed hitters hitting balls to the left field, perhaps even over the left field fence. So who exactly will benefit from this type of wind? Well, guys like Pablo Sandoval, a.k.a. the Panda. He bats from both sides of the plate, but he has 6 hits so far, but no home runs in the World Series. Also, he is a huge crowd favorite, and he is due. Get this, 2 years ago to the day, the Panda hit 3 home runs in 1 game in the World Series against the Tigers. All right, so definitely we're going to have a Game 4 as well on Saturday. That's more interesting in terms of the weather. Rain coming in tomorrow night and then maybe lingering for the game. But the winds here, 16 miles per hour and a lot gustier as well, perhaps gusting to 25 miles per hour or more, which will really help pushing that ball well to the left side of the field. So again, the weather a much bigger player in tomorrow night's game, but slightly for tonight's game. And again, the winner of tonight's game, Game 3, in terms of percentages, if you win tonight, you go on to win the World Series 70% of the time.
Thank you, Paul.
Well, we have some intense video to show you, and we're going to talk to the man caught in the middle of a hurricane coming up next.
Discover Card, how can I help you?
Oh, you're real?
You know I'm real. At Discover, we're always here to talk.
Good, because I don't have time for machines.
Some companies just don't appreciate the power of conversation.
You know I like you.
I like you too.
At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. Get the IT card and talk to a real person.
Get up to 20% off and 1,000 rewards points at bestwestern.com with a swipe, a tap, or a click. Get up to 20% off and enjoy breakfast, free high-speed internet, and 1,000 rewards points. Only at bestwestern.com.
Good night.
Night.
For those kept awake by pain, the night is anything but good. Introducing new Aleve PM, the first one with a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour strength of Aleve for pain relief that can last until the AM. Now you can have a good night and a
good morning.
New Aleve PM for a better AM.
Your paycheck. Your family depends on it. But if something happened to you, you need life insurance. And chances are SelectQuote can get it for you for under $1 a day. SelectQuote found Alec, 38, a $500,000 policy for under $21 a month. Phil, 41, smokes an occasional cigar. Still, SelectQuote got him a $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. SelectQuote found Kenesha, 39, a $350,000 policy for under $14 a month. SelectQuote's secret? They impartially shop a select group of highly rated companies like these for your best rates. Give your family the security it needs at a price you can afford. Call this number or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Put on your thinking caps. Evaporation rate equals 700.